Hello, fire signs. Happy Monday. Welcome to your daily focus tarot. We have the Eight of Pentacles, which talks about building up your skill set, mastering stuff through repetition, through practicing it over and over again. And we have rebirth or judgment, which talks about letting go of the things that you don't need anymore in order to have a better life in the future. It talks about coming out of the dark into the light and listening to where your plans are for the future, where your abundance is, where your growth is at. Really listening to that inner calling. You see this person here blowing the whistle and saying the new day has started. It's begun. When you're looking at the skill sets that you're trying to master and that you're good at and what it is you're trying to learn, look at them with an eye towards your own personal growth. You are in this cycle. We have Cernunnos and we have the Five of Wands. There's some sort of competition, or Five of Wands can also talk about brainstorming. So if it's a competition for things, that is you're trying to get out of this negative energy through building up your skill set. If it's about brainstorming how to deal with any sort of negative repressed feelings or emotions that Cernunnos talks about, any sort of negative dark thoughts that you might be having, any negative addictions, compulsions, anything like that in regards to materialism, you're looking to get out of that situation and have this new growth, this new beginning. You see the Lovers here, they're talking about making a choice. The Lovers talks about the choice between two things, and it talks about needing to make the choice that moves you towards wholeness, that moves you towards alignment with your values. The Lovers can wake up. Cernunnos is kind of frozen here. The Lovers can wake up and easily walk past him into the light. They don't have to necessarily fight him to get past him. So the illusion with Cernunnos, or the Devil card, is that the illusion is that you're bound, or you always have to do things a certain way. You can't change things. You can't improve your life. There's always going to be this competition, or there's always going to be this negativity in your life, and you can't move forwards. That's the illusion of that card, and that's not true. You can move past this. We have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups talks about using your intuition, getting your emotions under control, using that intuition to see what is an illusion, to see what's fake, what is lying to you, and to move past it. She's dipping her toe in the water, so she's trying something new. She's trying something new in regards to protecting herself, in regards to setting her boundaries in order to heal, in regards to looking at what her passions are and are they healthy or unhealthy. And she's moving forwards, right? So the Six of Swords in reverse, though, it's talking about, a delay. It's talking about where you're unbalanced and you have this unfinished business and you're kind of procrastinating about it. You're kind of resisting that change. And because you're resisting the change, you're stuck. You feel like you're stuck, and you are stuck. You need to deal with that unfinished emotional business. You need to deal with, there's an Emperor, Four of Pentacles, and Two of Swords. Okay, And this is why the Six of Swords is in reverse. This is why you're not moving forwards. The Emperor, it talks about putting habits and routines into place in order to deal with the things that are out of control in your life. It can also talk about, somebody who very much has this sort of my way or the highway type attitude if it's referring to a person. And this can be somebody with the Four of Pentacles. It can be somebody who's really concerned with building wealth, or with, they're kind of locked up, they're controlling. Both of these cards can talk about a controlling person. They can also talk about, locking up emotions or locking yourself away. Instead of dealing with things, hiding yourself away. So this Emperor can have two meanings. Same with this Four of Pentacles. It could be talking about like an actual person that's preventing you from transitioning, from moving forwards, from getting out of this negativity and back into the light, back into the sun, and into your growth. Or it can talk about how you aren't taking that leadership, taking that control in your life, putting into place habits that are going to help you build your wealth, that are going to help you build your security long term. You might be holding on to something because you have a fear of change. Four of Pentacles can talk about that, as well as Six of Swords in reverse. You could be over controlling stuff. It could be you who's the Emperor. If it's a person, it could be you over controlling things because you have that fear. And this Two of Swords, it talks about the decision. It talks about, how having this indecision is kind of taking your head off. It's making you feel like really anxious, really kind of crazy. It's making you feel like you just don't know where to go or what to do or who to be. This Two of Swords, you need to make this decision to move towards your peace, to move towards your calm, towards your happiness, and away from anything that's a conflict, anything that's negative, anything that's dark in your life. You need to get your passions under control and your feeling of vulnerability under control. And then we've got two more cards, the 9 and 10 of Swords. So this is a progression. You're ending this cycle, this fear and anxiety, these nightmares that the 9 of Swords talks about. Most of them are in the past. The swords, the thoughts that are out of balance, are on the wall, on display behind the person. They're not actually hurting the person, although this person thinks they're going to. Here in this 10 of Swords, they actually are kind of hurting the person. So it talks about, your thoughts can become things. So if you have this fear and anxiety and you think these negative things are going to happen, they can happen because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? But it's not necessarily true that they're going to happen. So when you're looking at ending your fears and anxieties and you're starting anew, you're looking at balancing your thoughts. You're looking at figuring out what thoughts are hurting you, because all these swords are thoughts that are out of balance, usually. They represent thoughts in general, but they're usually talking about thoughts that are out of balance, especially when they're talking about fears and anxieties that are kind of stabbing you in the back, that are betraying you, that are leaving you feeling like you're broken right down to your core. So these thoughts are betraying you. You need to get a grip on them. You need to get them under control. And I see that you are, because the 10 talks about that end of the cycle where these thoughts are controlling you and you aren't controlling them, where they're taking over, and these fears and anxieties are creating such a hard time for you. You're really getting a grip on them, and you're ending that cycle. You're ending that cycle of thinking, that cycle of behaving in a way that you're letting them control you. I hope this is helpful. Have a great Monday. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.